Morning, y'all. Excuse me. Talk to y'all real quick this morning. And y'all gotta excuse me. But gotten some really horrible news yesterday. And it came kind of late, Um, I don't even know. I'm just gonna give y'all this situation because I don't even. This is so weird. I don't even know how to describe it, and it's even crazier. 'Cause I couldn't describe it when she was alive, and I can't describe it now that she's dead either. Um, I just saw her. Evidently, I saw her the same day she freaking died. And that is so crazy. I can't say friend. I can't say big, but I can, I can't say big sister, but I can. Like, I don't. All right. I went to school and I knew a girl named Jokita. And me and Jokita were not friends, but we were really close. Like, let me just explain this to y'all real quick. I'm just going to give y'all, you know, so like back in high school, um, I hung with a group of girls, and this girl who was a year older than me and a grade above me, named Jokita, she hung with a group of girls. Um, one of my friends was dating a guy that Jokita was dating. Like they would be back and forth, off and on, about fighting, talking trash, all kind of stuff with each other. Okay, and so of course, as we did, one person beefing in the group that everybody hope group beef or whatever like that. But one day at school, because this is when it had just started. I'll never forget it. I was in the bathroom, and Jokita and this girl that she used to hang with had come in the bathroom. I was in there with somebody. I can't remember who I was in the bathroom with, but they had come in there, and when they came in, like we went to walk out. You know what I'm saying? And she had stopped me. She wanted to talk to me personally. You know what I'm saying? And she was just like, I stopped. Both our friends had walked out, and she had talked to me. She was like, "Listen, Rose." She was like, I know me and your homegirl don't get along or whatever like that and stuff like that, but I don't have a problem with you. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want no problems with you. So, you know what I'm saying? You can just kind of lead us between me. I'm like, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't normally roll like that. But, and even though, I have not held a conversation with you before, I've seen you, I think you're a pretty cool person. I don't want no smoke with you neither. So, me and her had dated that. The whole time she had beat up my home girl and everything. You know what I'm saying? Whole time, me and her never beefed. Not too long after that, I went all the way to a church like an hour away. I never told her this. I never told her this. I went to a church an hour away, and it was like a revival or something like that because it wasn't a regular church Sunday morning service. And I heard her sing. She sang. She didn't know I was in the audience, but I heard her sing. And I saw the spirit, see her break down in the spirit. She was on stage. She just cried. And I realized that she was a different breed. You know what I mean? I realized that day, which I had always known it was something special about her. Let's just take a moment to acknowledge how special she was. Okay? And I don't understand it, y'all. But let's just take a minute to acknowledge how fucking special she was. Um, I realized it that night that I heard her sing at church. And I never brought it up to her. But so we get through, high school years. They fight more. I never got involved. I never got in it. You know what I'm saying? Because When me and her stood that day, I respected her for approaching me with real words. She respected me for responding with real words. And ever since then, y'all, we had nothing but a mutual respect for each other. But we get out of high school, and I end up in a very bad, very poor decision of, you know what I'm saying, jumping in a domestic violence relationship with a fucking, y'all, anyway, that we're not getting into that. But, and she was really the first person, y'all don't understand. She was really the first person, other than, of course, like my mama and stuff, that had really been like, Rosie, it's okay, you're okay, you're gonna get your shit together. You know what I'm saying? It's all right, you made a bad choice. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? And she talked to me. We didn't have many conversations after that because we would mostly just like bump into each other. You know what I'm saying? Here and there. She would always encourage me every time she saw me. Sometimes I didn't feel like I did, but sometimes she'd be like, girl, I needed to hear that. Thank you, Rose. Whatever like that. But that's what, type of, we never hung out or nothing like that. That was it. But it was like every time we saw each other, it was like, oh, hey, girl. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes I'll be somewhere and it'd be like, hey, Rose. And I look around and she'd be smiling. Oh, she had a beautiful smile, y'all. She'd be smiling at me real pretty, you know what I'm saying, and waving. And I'm like, oh, hey, Jokita, kind of brighten me up a little bit or what have you. So the last time I saw her, she would come from her job, like Sunday or whatever. And I was not necessarily sure if that was her at first, but at the same time, I'm like, because I had walked past her, I'm like, that was Jokita. And she was looking very upset. I don't know what was going on, but she was looking very crazy. I hadn't seen her look that upset since high school. And I said, that was Jokita. I turned around and I walked back past the sea again, like, was that really her? And it was. I said, hey, Jokita. She wasn't her cheerful self. She was just like, hey. I said, I thought that was you. I wasn't quite sure. I got so much on my mind, so stressed. She was like, girl, you know what I mean? She's like, don't even. And I'm like, girl, don't even. You know what I'm saying? So we standing there looking at each other for a minute, trying to pull some words together to get out of our head because I was stressing. And I could look at her and tell that she was stressed and she was trying to say something, but she in her head, she's just like, girl. And I'm like, girl, okay. You know what I'm saying? And so then I gave her a hug. And, then because she was picking up a to-go order. And so they were bringing her food out, after I gave her the hug. And I got ready to walk off and they were bringing the food out. I knew I wasn't going to see her, when I came back out the thing. So I was like, all right, love you, girl. She's like, love you too. You know what I'm saying? And walked out. Y'all, she had me out 2 hours after that. I had no idea that was going to be the last time I was with her, which I didn't see her often. But I always saw her right on time. It's just wild to think that ain't going to happen anymore. I mean, but at the same time, it is. I don't know, y'all. But we lost somebody very, 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 very special. We lost a bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's one thing I'll say, we were on 2 different teams. Neither one of us ever slighted each other on who we were. Never. You know what I'm saying? She never held it against me. I did not mess with her people. And she understood. She understood that a lot of them were jealous of me for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And she never held that against me. It was crazy. I just saw her. I literally just saw her. And somebody said that she had passed Friday, either Saturday or Sunday. And I'm like, yo, I just saw her either Saturday or Sunday. She came to the job. I can't remember because I worked both days. And she had came to the job, and it was just such a quick little frustrating moment, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I was frustrated. Obviously, she was under suppression. I was frustrated. And it was just a quick little few moments. It's like, hey, you know. But I'm glad. I'm glad that, you know what I'm saying? Glasses, but it's the real stars. I'm glad that I got to see her. And I'm glad that I got to give her a hug and let her like her up. You know, I love you, girl. Just like that. But I'm glad that I had that opportunity because, like I said, we're real close friends and that's like that. Excuse me, I hope I ain't showing no boogers or nothing. It wasn't like, but we was just real tight. We would just encourage or lift one another if we just happen to see each other out and about. You know, so that was it, y'all. You know, people are really going. And she was so young. That's just crazy. She was so young, y'all. She was 47 years old. And God called her home. And that's, I feel like that. I feel like that. I feel like I know where she went because she was different. She was really different. She had a good heart. She knew who she was. She knew who she was. She didn't have to need to be walking around jealous of people and stuff. How you doing? Can I get 2 of your blacks, please? Sweet plastic. She didn't have no need to walk around. Oh, good morning. How you doing? Thank you. Oh, hold on.
So we can see what's going on while and they're hanging up on.
Oh, they don't want to talk today?
It's 2:70.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
You're welcome. Me too.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to change.
One more little girl food out. Yeah.
Yeah, she was, y'all know what I had really meant to come up here and get. Coffee. That's what I had come up with. But I made a mistake and got my soda first. It's all good. But, this came out and we'll see how to pull it. That truck and parked it dead slam in the middle of the parking lot in front of the big truck things. But anyway, yeah, that's like, I need the world to know and understand, like, that was a real one right there. That was a real one. And wow, that was crazy. But I'm glad I got a chance to see her. I'm glad I had that opportunity. So I didn't find out until like yesterday. I just happened to be scrolling on Facebook, which I'm not really on Facebook like that anymore. But I saw where I had a notification for my messenger, and I wasn't sure if it was an old one or a new one. So I had, opened my messenger and then just took a peek at Facebook, and it was an old messenger. But I took a peek at Facebook, and it was the first and only, post that I saw. I was like, what the fuck? And I click on it, the link, and it was a real link. Like it wasn't a fucking sick joke. It was a real link that went to her obituary. So I was like, wow. And I text my one, I'm like, girl, the people died. And she was like, and I'm like, I just saw her literally like Sunday. I just saw her. And I'm thinking it was Sunday. Like I said, I worked both days, but I did not work Sunday night. I worked Saturday night and I worked Sunday. And it seems like this was during the day. So it had to have been Sunday. But anyway, and she's like, yeah, I don't know what happened though. I don't even know if I want to know. I mean, one way we're gonna get out of here. You know what I'm saying? At this point in my life, it really don't matter. You know what I'm saying? After I saw what went down with my mama, after I saw that, it don't even matter how nobody else go out. I'm gonna be honest with you. It don't matter how you go. I miss you when you're gone until my time comes. You know what I'm saying? Because we all got a day. We all got a time. We all have a day. We all have a time that we're gonna have to kick the bucket. I ain't even too tough worried about how it happened no more. Cause I mean, shoot, it really is a blessing. It's a blessing. What in the heck? It's a blessing to get up out of here. When you realize and you see exactly what it is, and you know exactly what it is, and all this other stuff, like man, next life, please, next world, please, next life, me. But you wait your turn because obviously there's something I don't know. Why is it that we have to be so strong when we leave this earth? Like, are we gonna go through some type of element, or like what is it? The passage. Why do we have to be so strong for the passage? You know what I mean? But I do it. I go through it because I don't know. I don't know. Nobody's ever died, and come back and be like, yeah, you know what? When you die, you got to go through this big ass ring of fire. Like, you don't know. You don't know. So you just let life build you and shape you. And then when it's time to go, you go. Because this place is so temporary. And a lot of people do not understand that. This place is more temporary than anything. And it's not just biblical studies that will teach you that. If you really pay attention to what's going on and you see it. Anyway, y'all, I just wanted to give props this morning. You know, damn, Jaquita, I'm glad that you made it, girl. You did it. You did. I don't know everything you did. I don't know every good thing. I don't know every bad thing. But I know when it came to me, you did a good job. You did. You just as cool as a cucumber. I'm telling y'all, I'll give her them props. She was very pretty, nice smile. She was funny. You know what I'm saying? She had it going on. She really did. And we never had no problems, even though everybody around us was beefing. Me and her never had no problems, and she was like a big sister to me. Um, because it was this point in time where her and my mom had gotten really close, going through to church, and they met at church way years later. And then I find out with my mom one day. I see Joaquin. Well, me and my mama see Joaquin. He's like, hey. It's like, oh, hey, yeah, you know what I'm saying, da da da. So, I don't know. But anyway, rest in peace, Joaquin. That's crazy, you know. But you, evidently, you did your job, girl. You're finished. So, I'll talk with y'all later. I'm almost back to my house now anyway. I'm like 2 or 3 houses down. I just had to connect with y'all on that level because my heart is really touched this morning. It touched my heart when I found out last night. But then I remembered it this morning. I was like, wow, I'm going to go and get my coffee. I'm going to go and get my coffee and just politic with the crowd for a minute. Um, wow, I can't believe like I saw all the time. We bump into each other every couple of years. But I won't bump into her no more, though. That's the crazy thing, you know? So, like I said, I'll get with you guys later. Get ready to get in here. And, well, first things first, once through the water, I've got to get my own coffee because I've been like the past ever since basically I started working, I've been thrown off because I did not expect like the way that everything happened when I started working. It happened like all of a sudden. I didn't have time to prepare for it or nothing. And, so I've, had different things come here, there, left, right, up, down, stuff like that. I'll get it together. I just got to take a moment and get my focus right. But that just kind of threw me right there, to hear about old girl. So anyway, like I said, for the 100th time, I'll get with y'all later. You know how it is. You know how you do when you get old and you're trying to leave. You got to say it about 10 to 12 times. So I'll talk with y'all later. And I love you guys.